Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. You look beautiful.
As do you.
Fresh
Oh,
and sunny and summery.
yeah. Hang on 1 second. I don't think this is on.
Okay. I can hear you,
Okay.
but
Well, this is probably better.
yeah, I do hear you better. A little louder.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
How's
How was your week?
good?
Yeah.
Good. It's a good week. I'm just
Anything
excited that
eventful?
it's no, just the fact that it's like summertime and getting warmer. And anyway,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah. Yesterday was like the first day of summer, yes? No, maybe the day before that. Recently though.
21st. Yeah. Sometime
Yeah.
this week.
So I remember it was super rainy because everybody was like, "Happy first day of summer." Because it was just
Yay.
so gray. But I kind of like those days actually, like the really big storms, as long as they don't,
The summer
mess stuff
thunderstorms.
up. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
nice. Are you a storm fan?
I am, as long as they don't destroy like the
Yeah,
crops
for
and things
sure.
here.
But like you'd sit out on the porch and watch them.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
definitely.
yeah, and
Get
like
your little like cup of hot chocolate and a blanket and just watch the lightning.
yes, my
It's
kids
very
will
good.
still like swim. We have like a thing
Oh,
though. Like
really?
as soon as we see like big lightning or whatever, like we don't swim in like
Hmm.
the heart of it. But yeah, they love to swim when it just starts raining. And I get it. It's kind of fun. But
Hmm.
then we watch real close for the lightning. But
Yeah.
that's yeah, so
Not
they have
enough to
some
kill you, but enough to like enjoy the weather. That
no,
makes
but
sense.
we had friends come over the other day just because it was about to rain. So they came over to swim.
Really?
Uh-huh. It's
Well, you
just a
guys have
fun
like a
time to
metal
swim.
cage around your pool too, so it's
Yeah. I don't know if that makes it worse though. I mean,
you think it
metal.
would dissipate it? Like
Yeah, maybe.
it would bring it in. It would be one heck of a boom.
Either way, as soon as the lightning starts, we're pretty quick about being like, all right, got to get out.
That is smart. That is smart. I'm gonna move
Yeah,
this.
sure. How do you
Well,
curl your
cool.
hair? Do you use a like just an iron or do you do like curlers or something?
With just a fat old school curling iron.
Very nice. Very nice. Looks
Yeah.
good. Looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wah,
Anyway.
wah, wah,
Wah,
wah,
wah.
wah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even tell you what happened this week for us. Um,
Okay, I want to hear.
so it it sucks a lot because Bella's prepping to go to Worlds and she has nationals
Yeah.
in like 3 weeks. So she was at her coach's house, having a practice with more of the team, but her stuff was on the driveway in particular because that's where they were practicing was on the driveway, and the other girls are old enough to drive. So like their extra stuff was in their car. So they went inside for
Yeah.
five minutes water break because it's summer, it's hot outside. And she comes back out and it's gone. Who's there?
It was Cody.
Hi,
It was
Cody.
gone. I thought you were gonna say it got run over or something.
That no, that would be
It
nice.
was just
But
gone. Somebody
well,
stole it.
unfortunately, turns out it was the garbage man, and it was 100 feet from the bins.
Oh.
And then 20 feet from the bins, there was also the coach's chair that she sits in while she coaches him outside. Thankfully, there were cameras on
No.
the trash thing, so they were able to see that he did go out of his way to go get it and throw it in, and he's been written up and apologized or whatever. But I'm like, what was
No.
going on in your mind that you like, was he just having a bad day and was just like, fuck these people? Because like it literally is outside of their job duties. They're just supposed to pick up the
Yeah.
cans with the thing, but he got out and in our neighborhood, if you want
No.
something extra picked up, you literally have to call and like make special arrangements. So I don't know. It really, really sucks though, but they are saying they're gonna like
Reimburse you?
reimburse. But either way,
Well, good.
she's
Still.
yeah, but she's supposed to be practice. She's like, that's my life. All her friends are either out of the country or out of the state, basically right now. And so she's like twirling's life, and I can't even
Mm.
practice. She's got one baton and she's borrowing from like other friends, but we lost 7 batons and 2 pairs of the Capezio shoes and practice
Seriously?
and all her
Holy
things that she's
cow.
got for like specialty pins and stuff for being on Team USA
Yeah.
and stuff. Can't get them back. So either way, very frustrating, but
Oh,
at
I'm
least
sorry, Bella.
yeah. So we've reordered her bag, which was like it was what she asked for her birthday last year because it was a pretty expensive bag. And so we had it
Yeah.
embroidered and everything with her name and needed to be big to accommodate all of her different things for
All
her
of the
sport.
things.
Yes. But we reordered that and we're just like hoping that they really do come through with reimbursing because like
Yeah, no kidding.
it's not freaking cheap.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And sure, we had the money, but we were hoping to not have to spend it on, we were hoping to have a little bit of savings, just a
Yeah,
little
no.
bit would be nice.
On things you don't have, I don't know. You shouldn't have to
Yeah.
rebuy.
So
That
it was
stinks.
frustrating, but her coaches were
And
like
sad.
so amazing though, because they like one of our coaches like immediately got in the car and started chasing down like the trash because they found out from their
Yeah.
neighbor that the trash man took it because they were out there freaking out and like
Really?
what the hell just happened. And their neighbor
Yeah.
came out and like, what's going on? They're like, like someone just took the bag. Did the trash man take the bag? And they're like, yeah, he put those things in
No.
there. I'm like, also to the neighbor, like I think I would have been like, hold up. Like,
Wait a
don't
minute.
do that. Maybe ran out and gave him a heads up. Like,
Yeah.
this is a
Oh
big
gosh,
boo-boo.
dang it.
Please don't do it. Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
know.
Was Bella's stuff was the only one that got taken?
Yeah, because
Mm.
like one of the girls lives at the coach's house and the other girls can drive. And so she
Oh, that's what
dropped
you were
off.
saying.
And
Yeah.
so when they went into for a water break, it was just and it was nowhere near the trash bins either. So like it wasn't like she was carelessly leaving it on the lawn by the trash bins on trash pickup day or something.
Lean it up against the trash can for support.
But you live and you learn. I guess next time she'll always take her bag with her.
Sheesh. And hopefully now she gets all new stuff, but
that's not as good as you might think when you have shoes that you've really worn in and are great and you don't want to wear new shoes to compete. And now so he kind of fumbled for her harder than he probably even realizes he did. And because all her batons she taped and retaped and like
to
you know
her
what I mean?
exact specifications.
So and it's just a whole mental thing. I just feel so bad that but what can you do? Anyways.
You can be mad.
Yeah.
And sad.
Well, she was very mad. Anthony was very mad. I never got real mad. But I'm mad at the situation, but like there's nothing that I can do. So it's like I guess I'm able to let that madness go just because I've already been defeated by it. I will not win this one.
I'm not gonna let it control any more of your life.
I guess. And I probably am even like for Bella and Anthony, I'm probably a little too even like easy on the guy who did it because I'm like imagining he had a bad day and they're just like
if it truly was an accident, it's a stupid move, but if it truly was an accident, like
yeah, but you couldn't have been thinking straight, or were you on something like? Well, it doesn't really make any sense, and it was so clearly not trash. Like it's a very nice, it's so
embroidered bag of
yes, odd in shape, a bunch of zippers, it
clearly full of things.
It even had some heft to it, like you dumb dummy. Anyways, so yeah.
Dang it, I'm so sorry. Also, like ADHD side note, are you wearing extensions or is your hair just growing?
No, my hair is just growing. This is just my hair.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Because I actually didn't like fully blow dry it, so I didn't use a straight iron, so it's got a lot of here's
naturalness to it.
Yeah,
no, it looks good.
My
it's
hair
really good.
definitely it used to be straiter post kids, and then I've always had my little like
curly baby hairs.
Oh yeah, and they're full on like ringlets. It's so
silly.
My hair is like such a complex mix of textures.
All the things.
Yeah, but it's mostly straight, but not really.
Mine's just stick straight.
Really? Well, it holds curl nice. Because mine does not hold curl real nice. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess if I had just done my hair doesn't have, I feel like the right thickness or density to like wear a curl right. I don't know. It just
hold it. Yeah.
It's just like I don't have enough hair. It just looks so like wispy to me that I'm like, but I probably just don't. I'm not doing it right. I probably need more products or something. Yeah.
We should play. I will come down and we will play.
Okay. I love playing hair and makeup. It's one of my favorite things to do. But that's just like I could get a curl to stay on someone else and get it to look okay. But I think my head just needs extra care. You know how some people will like tease and they just know how to make it look a little
Uh-huh.
fuller. I'm not a good teaser. Like I never did the big hair thing. Did you?
Yeah, that's never been. Um, I have done the big hair.
Yeah.
Like sixth grade, I had like the nice wing. Anyway, it was wonderful. I should find pictures.
You should. The only thing I ever did that was so bad. I had like these big old bangs because we had just like always had bangs. I'm traumatized by
Uh-huh.
how many times I had bangs as a kid. But I'd use a big barrel curler and then I'd do that,
Uh-huh.
thing. So it fans out and
Hmm.
spray it. So they just like
Oh yeah,
I'm like
they're there.
like some of the things like there's a reason why that one didn't come back when the rest of the 90s and 80s did. Like you didn't see that
Yeah.
again.
No.
Sometimes we learn from our mistakes, and those were a mistake.
It's nice that as a society we can collectively be like, no.
On one thing, I guess.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Anyways. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
I guess I should get to it. So it's my week to pick.
All right, let's do
And
it.
I actually have like so many things I want to talk about, but I feel ill
Yeah.
prepared. Like it's almost like uh, I don't know enough about any one of them. They're just making me feel a certain way and want to like talk about it. But
Hmm.
I haven't gathered the right
The full
like
research.
yeah. So I have some good ideas, but I need the time somewhere in my life. I need to like dedicate a day to just like, you know, I don't know, like
Yeah.
write some like go through and think my thoughts and write it all down. Do you ever do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you consider your journaling?
I have been telling myself to get back to journaling a lot lately, and I just haven't. And so no, but I'll write down thoughts, and there's been a couple of times where I'll wake up in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
like that right between when you're asleep and in the morning, I have really good ideas, and then
Yeah.
by like breakfast time they're gone,
Yeah.
and so I'll just write stuff down.
Okay.
But
All right. So I kind of do that to an extent on my notes app. So that's
Mhm.
why I have all the ideas there. I just haven't went back to them and given them some real thought and research. Do you do that?
Mhm.
Do you like when do
Oh,
you do
like go
that?
back and
Yeah.
research things.
Yeah. That's my thing. It's like I have a note thing on here of so many things. I was looking at it the other day and I was like, I'm even having to try to remember what the hell I was talking about to myself. I'm like, at the time I wrote it and I'm like, this will make sense to me. And now I'm
Uh-huh.
reading it like,
Yeah.
no, no, it doesn't.
Nope. Nope.
Anyways. All right. So
But
anyways,
yeah.
all of that to say that for today, I'm gonna do the Am I an asshole from Reddit that you did one day because I thought that was a lot of fun.
I like those. Those are fun.
Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Let's do it again. Play it
All
again,
right.
Sam.
Okay. And these like I didn't take a lot of time in assembling these either. So
Okay.
like my idea was that I would like to find like funny ones, but
Hmm.
I feel like that's going to take some time because all of these like a lot of them even were like hours ago. You know what I mean? On
Yeah.
whatever thread I was on. So like but if I took some time and like really I bet you I could find some really funny ones. So that'll be another time.
We
All
should
right.
just like once a month do one of these because they're fun to do.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so first one. Am I the asshole for telling my
Okay.
girlfriend to stop telling me so much about her day? All
Go
right.
on.
Yeah. Every day after work, my girlfriend of 9 years will tell me every detail of her day as a resource teacher for at least half an hour. These are not two-way conversations, more so her telling me about what some kid did or what a coworker said. I also have a hard time paying attention to the entire time when she's telling me these stories because they're so long. Lately, she's been calling me out for forgetting her student/colleagues' names and saying I make her feel nervous when she tells stories because I seem annoyed. If I'm being honest, I do get annoyed. She's not a great storyteller, provides lots of superfluous details, and doesn't engage me at all. Just pretty much talks at me. So today I told her that I feel like she's having a one-way conversation with me and that she spends too long on her stories. I said that I like to hear about her day, but just not for so long, and that I'd rather us talk about things we can both contribute to. As expected, she did not take this well and said she won't tell me any more work stories. She's obviously pissed, and I feel guilty. Am I the asshole?
No, I don't think they're the asshole. What do you think?
I also am in the no. And
The no category.
I am the one who can talk in that way about something I can get so passionate about, and when you've said so many things about something, it's hard for someone else to follow it and not have gone off somewhere at some point in time, because you're going to make them have thoughts too, but it's not like a give and take. So expecting them to spend all that time in your mind, I think that's a lot to ask of a person. And I felt like he even went about it in a good way. And I think, she's probably pissed off because everybody has like reactions,
you want to feel like
right?
You want to feel like the people that you love and that you want to tell about your day are interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
so she has to come to that
too.
realization on her own that like, oh, hey, like I have this desire to talk and he doesn't have that to give to me right now. Like maybe I should get a therapist.
That was one of my first thoughts. One of my kids, I would go into their room at night and we would talk, and she would tell me all about her day like that, which is fine. I loved hearing about it, and I liked listening. And there was those things where she's like, I've told you about this person before, and I'm like, I don't remember their name, or little instances, and she'd get a little frustrated, and she would tell me like things that I was doing wrong as a parent, and it was just like an unload. It's like, hey, this is my day. I need a safe place to unload this. Here, have all of it, right? And it gets overwhelming. It can get really overwhelming. Even if you are completely interested and you want to know everything, it's a big not burden, but it's a lot to carry. And so when she started therapy, she was only in it for a little while, but when she started therapy, that lessened so much because she had someone else to help carry
her
that.
thoughts too. Yeah.
And so maybe not even therapy. Maybe she just needs to spend more time with friends. Maybe she just needs, like, I don't know.
I feel like I'm that way sometimes because now that I've learned how to speak, because she's actually leaps and bounds ahead of me, because that's the way I am when I speak freely as who I am. But growing up kind of muted me because I was, constantly, I talked too much. I was, it was all these things that just taught me that was wrong. So I learned how to mask. But that's because I learned how to mask. You know what I mean? Because I had to not be overwhelming to everybody around me. And I think there's an aspect of that is positive, that I need to recognize that in myself. And that's a me thing. And that for me, sometimes it's so much easier for me to actually like have an epiphany or a thought if it comes out loud. Like my thoughts swirl in my head and I have to speak my thoughts. You know what I mean? To really,
I get that.
So I bet you that she's similar in that way. And I'm just be grateful that you never squashed that in her, that she could say it, because she'll get to that point earlier that I'm at where I realize I can be a lot. I don't think that's bad about me. I just think that's a lot to put on someone else because they've got their own stuff. And like, I can't fix them and they can't fix me. So I got to take care. What about me can be hard on others, even if it is just me and they can love it about me, but also I should be respectful about, their space,
it's always
time,
good
their
to
energy.
Look inside and reevaluate, self-evaluate.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but yay for being a good listener on your part. I feel like my girls,
I would give myself a fair to middling. Depends on, I don't know. I also get really distracted really easily, and like people can talk to me and I'll be like, oh, I just stared at the wall for like 10 seconds. Whoops.
We all do that, and it's nothing about them, it's about you. So people need to not learn to, I guess, not be offended by other people, because it's never about you. We're just all like, we're all in our own heads all the time, That's just the reality. And once you accept it, like you can be less offended when someone doesn't text back or doesn't, and it's just like, it's not about me, you know? Like I'm cool. I'm good with
Yeah.
me. They're welcome when they're ready. Whatever.
Yep. Yeah,
Anyways.
I agree. Also, sorry for not texting, but I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm the
you
worst.
actually no, you're pretty good actually. I've got some friends who are pretty bad, but they know it about themselves, so they'll like poke fun at it. But I'm always like, you're fine. Like, I get that
All good.
you literally sometimes just can't. I'm fine
Mhm.
with that because I do that to people too. I have those moments where I
Yep.
see it and I can't. So I guess that makes it easier. And it's never ever that person or that I don't. It's just that I can't. It's not about them. Are you ready for-
Exactly.
Let's see. Did we even like answer all of that? We really just went off on a thing as I do.
On a thing.
Yeah.
No, I would say not the asshole, and it's just
Yeah.
a communication thing.
Yeah,
It's
and there's nothing wrong with her. I don't think there is an asshole. I think that it's hard to hear things about yourself or hard to come to those
Mhm.
realizations. And I think that
I think in a lot of like arguments and fights, somebody tells you something you don't want to hear,
Mhm.
and then your instant reaction is to be defensive somehow. Like
yeah.
at different levels, but yeah, there's a
Yeah.
defense that kicks in.
And then
And so
reaction
the other
becomes the
person,
fight.
then the other person feels like you didn't hear them, but if you let it go, the problem kind of works itself out. Like it was heard, it was understood. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I
And
didn't mean to.
I think it's okay to be like, okay, I just overreacted to that right there. Like, I think it's good to call yourself out in front of them so they know it's happening. You know what I mean? To assume, oh, they know. You know what I mean? That's how people
Mhm.
build resentments, I think. Or at least for me.
Yeah.
Everybody's got different types though. For me, I need to hear it because I don't know. Like my assumptions so far in my life have always kind of been wrong. I assume we're on the same page. I assume we think more alike. I assume
Mhm.
the world is better around me. Like I'm trying to learn to not make assumptions. So I appreciate when people just literally take account
Say
of
it.
it. Like yeah, okay. Because I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a story right now because I know that it happens.
Mhm.
But I'm trying to be better about that. I know I'm pretty good about it with my kids. I think I'm pretty good with my reactions around Anthony to where
Yeah.
because I have learned to like mask, I guess, more because I had to deal with aspects of his mental illness that like part of me will always try to shield, I guess. Does that make
Oh, yeah.
sense? Yeah.
Mhm.
Like just to I don't know if that's the right way and maybe that'll change in time, but that's just where I'm at in my process right now.
No, you'll adapt to the situations around you and I don't know,
Yeah.
learn what not coping mechanisms, but like
I
just
I think that's
skills,
fair.
social skills
Yeah,
and
social skills,
yeah.
coping mechanisms, like they can it to me it's all in the same. It's just you're saying the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
But I think when my
That's
girls call me out, like I have no problem being like, okay, yeah, I just reacted poorly. I'm sorry. I got freaked out. I got a little excitable there. I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? I just
Mhm. Yeah, it takes I don't know, with my kids I'm probably a little bit quicker, but with my husband sometimes it takes me a little while and then I'll like I don't know, come in the room and be like, okay, I'm really sorry I got mad. And I know I overreacted. Like this is I know and recognize it was my fault and I'm really, really sorry. And
yeah.
he just laughs. Like it's okay.
Well,
But
probably because
because
you
in the
do
moment I'm
come.
like, this is not my fault. This is I'm
Yeah. But the fact that you could acknowledge it, because we're all gonna fuck up here and there, but it's the
yeah.
people who will be like, no, like basically, you didn't fit my narrative, so you're always in the wrong. People who can't even see outside of their own narrative to see that other people are literally living other realities, and there's no way you can be right all the time.
Yeah. Well, and I think until I can deal with it with humor, I like don't want to deal with it at all. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a personality flaw or what, but
I think it's actually
like
kind of a good thing. Uh, not that you have the reaction in the first place, but that you like
yeah,
let yourself get
I
to the
still need to
place
work
that
on that.
that you let yourself get to the place that you're ready to talk about it instead of immediately delving into it or Cody even needing you to immediately delve into it, because I've seen that with, I have a friend who that's kind of the way, like she needs some time, but he needs an immediate answer. And she's just like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, he has to accept that you know what I mean? Like that is
Yeah.
an aspect of you. A physical reaction has happened in your body, like a physical, chemical, like you are having a feeling of, and it's damn near impossible. I've been muted by those feelings before. I
Yeah.
felt literally physically smaller by those feelings before. So to demand someone
Yeah.
speak in that moment and speak with any type of like it's good for you that you wait till you're at a point that you can communicate your point instead of just feeling,
Well, I don't always, but I should.
hey, but you try.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm still working on it. We're working.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm-
it's so much easier said than done. I try really hard, and I try to tell myself like all the same things, and we're all
Mhm.
human and we all have reactions, you know. So we can't
Yeah.
help it.
Yes.
Or
Agreed.
I think we can help it, but it's going to take time because we have to recognize the reaction, and that maybe it's overzealous, or that it's not really associated to what just happened. It's more about like a
Yeah.
physical reaction that's literally happening because you were triggered by what just happened, but it's not what just happened.
Would it be like super rude if you're in this situation that you just read? Like it sounds good in my head, but in reality, it probably wouldn't be received very well. But to be like, hey, I have 5 minutes of listening in me right now. Go. Like I'm going to be actively listening, participating in the story for 5 minutes. When this timer goes off, let's do something else. Like
I think that's fair. I heard
is it fair? I
a
don't.
lady, like a TikTok or something of a lady's speech where she was saying something along those lines about how like a marriage is really never truly 50-50. So her and her
Mhm.
husband literally talk about, what do you have to give today? Like he'll get home from work and just be like, I'm at a 20%. Like basically, I don't
Yeah.
have it in me to help right now. Can you help with that? And if she's like, well, I'm at a 20%, then they have to work together to figure out how they're going to work up the next 60%, because it can't be like you're in a bad day, so you can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just
Yeah.
have to talk
Sometimes
about
bad
it.
days
And
fall on the same
yeah,
day.
and him saying, this is what I have to give to you for listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would be, or hopefully eventually she can accept that as like, oh, okay, you don't have to, like, this is a me issue that I need to say this all the time. This is something I need, but I don't have control of your like thought processes and brain, and shouldn't try to demand that of people.
Yeah. Well, I could even see it being like fun. Like if you know there's a definite end to it,
Yes,
instead
it
of
would make
like
it easier. No lie.
like
Set a timer.
yeah,
I'm gonna do it with
and then
Anthony.
like be
I'm
as
gonna be like,
involved as you can. Like
mhm.
do you know what Janet did today? That bitch, what? Like
Yes,
really get into it. Like
that is a good idea.
anyway.
We should start. I'm gonna start doing that. Like with Anthony, sometimes like I don't always get into like the superhero things that he does, because my brain just isn't always in that place. Sometimes I will. Sometimes
Mhm.
I'll just be like, we'll talk about like
Goes
what
over.
superpowers you had with this, or yeah, but sometimes it's not even that it goes over my head, it's just that it's like it's not interesting to me per se. So it's a lot of information, and to try to take that all in, it's like you're in a class you don't want to be in, but you have to be, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Depending on what mood you're in, because
and also
sometimes
depending on what your mood you're in, but
Mhm.
like also just like that, what you have to give. There's only so long that I can be in that before it's work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that
I'm
makes sense.
willing to work, and I do. You know what I mean? I definitely will try to give it more effort, but then there are
Yeah.
times though where I really have fun with it. So I think if it were just that
Mhm.
there were an end time, and it was like,
Mhm.
I'm just going to really go into this because I can't go for a very long time. I run out of ideas. It's just not the way my brain thinks.
You can't go back and forth when it's all
Yeah, because
heavy on the side.
yeah, and because my head is so rooted in reality that it's poking holes in every fucking thing, and it's just like, I'm like, ah, God, like.
Yep.
But
You're like,
it's
ding,
really
and now
fun
done.
sometimes. Yeah. We
Yeah.
we should do another, the week where you couldn't do a podcast, but I still wanted to do one, so I had Anthony, and we did the
Oh yeah.
the
The one where Emily was
stupid
sick.
superpowers. I think we should do that again because it was really fun. Because
Okay,
it'd
let's
give you
do
some
it.
time to start coming up with some like dumb
Some
or
good ones.
useless superpowers, or some
Okay,
ideas like the
I like
ability
that
to
idea.
fly, but only 10 inches off the ground and 5 miles per hour.
Only in supermarkets. Like,
it's like neat, but it's not like, I mean,
it has
super
limitations.
yeah. But you could probably jump out of an airplane because you're just gonna fly, and eventually as soon as you're down, you know, so you can kind of fly. Okay. Am I the asshole for not caring / wanting to pray with a coworker? This is a very recent one. All my coworkers will talk about right now is the Titanic sub-crisis. The news is constantly playing on the TVs in their offices. It's what they're talking about all day long. 2 of them asked me this morning if I wanted to join them in a prayer for the people inside. They know I am the only other churchgoer in the office, and I respectfully declined. When I declined, my coworker, let's call her Kathy, was flabbergasted and said that it was unbecoming of a Christian to withhold prayer to anyone. Kathy is a single older woman who is very sensitive and always causing drama or complaining about her failed marriage that ended before I got to the company 6 years ago. This upset me, as she is one of those phony Christians who thinks because she goes to church once a month, she can be a terrible person to everyone and be forgiven. I told Kathy that while I feel sympathy for the families, I do not feel any sympathy for someone who puts themselves in this position. I do not think the rescue effort is worth the massive amount of money being spent on it, and I think that if the passengers didn't include a billionaire, none of us would have heard more than a 2-minute clip on the news about this. Kathy called me an ass with tears in her eyes and went home for the day. Of course, nobody heard the discourse, just her yelling at me and storming out. Now everyone in my office is telling me to apologize, and they said I was being a dick about it. The coworker with Kathy when she asked me has been gossiping all day about me. Even the guy who runs there we go.
Good.
Even the guy who runs the cafe in our building heard about it somehow. Am I the asshole? There's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot to unpack there. Ugh. Nobody likes feeling beaten over the head with somebody else's religion. Like, even if you're the same religion.
Yeah.
It's such a personal thing. Nobody wants to be bullied into prayer. Like,
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I do definitely think that like they were all Christian. They knew that. I guess asking's fine because just, you know, they were all
Of
Christian.
course.
But when they declined to have a reaction to it, it was, you know, like that's a you thing, Kathy, or whatever your name really is. Like that's not an attack on you. Nobody hurt you.
Are you saying that God won't hear your prayer unless it's combined with mine?
Yeah.
Right? No, I don't know.
And I would say that I think there was a little more like an edit. We were saying, like, I guess people were saying like I shouldn't have said the things I said about the billionaires and the submarine. And so like I should apologize for that.
Extra.
Well, that's what I thought at first. And like to an extent, I think that because everybody's human and everybody should be cared about. However, did you hear about the more than 700 people who drowned in, like, they were immigrants? Like, there were multiple boats. Like, there was a boat that broke down, and it was like heading into Greece, but it was supposed to be in Italy, so they just shoved it back out, hoping it would make its way to Italy. But it ended up sinking and killing like 700
And this
plus
is just
people.
Recently?
Yes, like right now at the same time.
Oh,
and the fact that, yeah, exactly. So he kind of has a point, you know, like they had so much money that's what they were doing with their life. So many people are just fucking struggling to survive on this earth. And we've got so out of touch with reality that we think people actually own this earth. Like, we're all just fucking here, and we could be taking care of each other, and that's what they're choosing to do. Like, I get you get to do with what you want with your money, but all the resources going to find you when we didn't hear a fucking thing about that. Like, I had to find, like, I found that on TikTok, and then when I looked it up myself. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I kind of get his point. I kind of can be like,
well, for me, it's not like so much because one then the other. It's like they're both super duper sad. I was super sad about the Titanic sub thing.
Sure, because they're human beings.
Well, yeah, in my mind, I go straight to like, that must have been terrifying. That must have been like,
yeah,
absolutely horrific. But the same thing with this other boat, man. That
exactly. the first thing I said about the implosion was I'm so glad it was like an implosion because I imagined that to be fast and like they didn't have a chance to think about their mortality. That it wasn't like I'm
Yeah.
about to die. Because I don't know.
Sitting in the pitch
maybe I'm just
black,
weird,
just
but I
waiting.
thought a few times about like I wonder what I'll think when I really do like see it coming. Like I wonder what I'm gonna think. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like I'm preparing myself to do the right thing. Like think about the people you love. Think about like
Yeah.
doesn't matter at this point. Accept whatever it is so that you're not living in fear and think about the people you love. So
I prefer not to think of it at all. It terrifies me. Like
it used
just
to terrify
wanna
me,
be a
but
good
it's
person.
just another one of those things that like I don't want to die. I want to be here for my kids and stuff like that. And I'm enjoying life, but it just also doesn't like
Nobody gets
I
out alive.
I don't have the fear of hell, and there's nothing I
No.
can do about accidents. And I do my best to be healthy and to be aware of my surroundings. I like, I'm being as safe as I can be. So
Trying.
when it happens, it's just I don't know, it's just gonna happen, and it's like I've accepted it. Like I'm the type that I think
haven't.
I'd like to plan my funeral because I'd like it to be fun.
Yes.
So,
Agreed.
mhm.
Agreed. But hopefully not anytime soon.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't know who I'm looking at, but
I
hey,
have
universe.
I have no
I want to
desire.
be here for a while.
Universe, yeah. I'd like to be one of those people who lives like super old and is super capable. And then you're like, what did you do? And I'm like, I drink a Pepsi every day. Like,
Yeah.
That's what they all say.
Right. I did what I wanted to do. Dang it. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't let my body be destroyed by the stresses of the expectations of the world. I genuinely, my father-in-law is going through like medical stuff right now, and he keeps kind of bleeding out, and they are having a hard time finding the source of of the bleeding. And now they found some in the intestines and stuff like that. And my thought now, looking back on his life, I mean, obviously he drank and smoked, as a lot of people did. That's how they medicated her things. But like he's always been so high stress. And it was one of those things that was just super normalized, and he handles it really well. He's just such a chill guy. But really, we know that he is so stressed. Like he had his midlife crisis, all those things. He's had his heart attacks. And my thinking is like, what if he literally has stressed himself into like ulcers in his stomach that are causing him to bleed out now? Because they never ever addressed the stress with like treating the mental health of having that level of anxiety for that long.
Yeah.
Like I can see it because I feel it myself. I look at him and I'm like, man, if it hadn't been that mental health was so shit on, you might have been on something that made you so you didn't have as many heart problems because you weren't so fucking stressed all the time, Like it's more than just people being able to feel like it's okay that they're not 100% right. It's also like it physically is harming our bodies, I believe, to be living at this level of stress.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Anyways,
absolutely.
This particular high, because I just puffed with Anthony before we started, is definitely, I feel like, a preachy one. I feel like I've been... I have, like, it affects you differently. Like, sometimes you just want to chill, but most of the time I want to talk. But, like, there's different levels of talk. And this is a preacher, Rachel.
Well, Rach, I've got like 30 minutes left in me. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
See what I did there?
I did.
No, we're good.
I appreciate it. Alrighty.
Sweet.
Ready for the next? Am I the asshole? Okay.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for having my son miss his graduating road trip to watch his siblings?
Oh, man. I'm going to say yes, but
yeah, me too.
Go on.
Yeah, okay. My son just graduated high school, and we were paying so he could go on a road trip with his friends. He was supposed to go Wednesday. My wife's mother and father got in a car accident. They live in another state, so we had to drive about 4 hours. My wife was a wreck and wasn't in the position to drive since her dad was critical. He pulled through, luckily. We have 2 other kids, 11 and 7. We can't leave them at home alone, and we couldn't find a sitter to watch them on such short notice. We even tried our neighbors, but he couldn't do it. So that left our 18-year-old. He was pissed, to put it mildly, but did it. I told him we would make it up to him, and if he could ask a friend, he could move it back a week, and they couldn't, sadly. We were gone for 2 days. He pulled through. My wife stayed, and I headed back. I paid him for watching the kids and went to talk to him about getting him on the trip. It was supposed to be 2 weeks, and they should just be able to stay over. He blows up about ruining his trip, and there's no point going, even though it should still be like a 12 days of the trip. He called us a jerk and locked himself in his room. I need another opinion since this was an emergency, and he doesn't seem to care. His grandparents almost passed. So
sticky situation.
Yeah.
Super rough. I get it. I get both sides. I understand.
I get both sides, but I also don't
However,
think that
yeah.
they should have done that to him. Like, what if he had already left on his trip? Or also, why couldn't you just take them with you in the car on that trip? Like, there were other options. And when he didn't want to do it, I feel like you should have done. I don't know. I guess I
think that's a graduation trip that you've been looking forward to, like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like he was convenient for you because you didn't go to your neighbors and tell them tough cookies. You got to cancel whatever you're doing. It's you
felt like you could with your kid. You owned him.
You felt entitled to your kid's time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was gracious enough to oblige. But man, if the rest of your kids were toddlers, I could see why you wouldn't want to bring them.
But they were 7 and 11.
Those kids are old enough to take care of themselves. You give them a iPad or a Nintendo or something, and they'll entertain themselves for.
Yeah,
that's probably a horrible thing to say, but they're not like you don't have to change their diaper.
So.
You're not breastfeeding. You're not.
My kids very interactively play video games. They're still playing with friends. Yeah. They're playing with friends in other states. They're, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's not like when we sat in a basement alone and played Donkey Kong. It was, it's very different now.
And your other kids should understand too, like, hey, this is a really serious thing with grandma and grandpa. I'm going to be busy. Your dad's going to be busy. Is there any way you guys can help? Please help with this. Your brother's going to be gone on his trip. We need to respect that as well.
Yeah.
And
although I do hope that he comes around and lets his dad help him go on the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's a reaction. He's like, no, I don't get it all. I won't have any. And it's like, you could still have a really awesome time. Like, it sucks. Thanks for doing it.
Get out there.
Glad he paid. You know what I mean? Like, while I don't think that it was the right thing to make him do that, like, they should have taken it on themselves to figure it out even farther. Cause like, there are other options, but, I hope he turns around and like goes on the trip. I should go find it and then comment and be like, did he go?
Go on the trip. Go on the trip.
Go on the trip.
Even if you only have a couple of days, go. You won't regret it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Man. Yeah, that sucks. I think, I don't know what I'm going to say here. I don't like the parentifying of children. Like, the forcing into.
Yeah. Those are like all of your kids are your kid and only yours individually, you and your spouses. And it's nice when family helps, but you like.
And I think there are times as a parent where you're like, hey, listen, this is our family. This is what we're doing. And you are going to come help. Like, we are working in the yard today. You are also going to work in the yard today because that's what we're doing. Yeah. As a fan. That's what we need to do to keep this.
That feels really different though than.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to control what you're doing with your life right now. Like, sure, you could have wished that your kid volunteered it. You know what I mean? You could have wished,
of course,
but still, like, that's not yours.
But it was super important. It was super important to him, and that just kind of got glossed over for a really other important thing. But it just showed like what you want is not as important as what we want. So I think that'll sting for a while.
Yeah, it'll be something that there's kind of a reaction to that he might have to. Anyways.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of agree on that one.
I think so too. Go on the rest of your trip, dude.
The next one, yes. Not that he's watching this, but this is like I said, these are all pretty recent. Yeah, yes. Some 18-year-old, and did that say where it was? I'm sorry if you're watching this.
Dude. Go on your trip.
Okay. Next one is also
next story.
parent and child type thing. Okay.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for not canceling my trip for my dad's wedding?
Hmm.
I, 17 Mel.
I was going to ask, is this his first wedding? But that's anyway. Keep going.
It took me a second. And
I mean,
yes,
I guess it could be still, but
yeah, they could have just. But if you let me finish the sentence, you will know.
Okay, I will go.
My parents are divorced. They have shared parenting. My dad only sees me every other weekend and does not talk to me any other time unless it is important to him. We do not get along, and I've already planned when I turn 18 to no longer see him. I made plans 3 months ago with my mom to go to a music festival out of state on her weekend, and my girlfriend and her family. It has been paid for and everything is set. Now my dad and stepmom had said they were getting married, just never when. I was talking about the festival again because I was really excited. This isn't the first time they have heard about it or seen the dates. And I was told I would have to cancel since they are having their wedding in the middle of it. I told them no, and I would just have to miss the wedding. Now my dad is super mad at me. My mom says I'm doing the right thing, and others are on both sides. So am I the asshole or not for canceling my trip for my dad's wedding? Or for not canceling my trip for my dad's wedding?
Yeah, it's a communication thing. If he wanted you there, you could have.
Yeah. If he really wanted you there, he would have been more a part of your life and made you want to be there. He just wants you there for I don't know, for the
parade you about and be like, these are my
you.
children.
Exactly, because if you haven't really actively tried to participate, like you're not a parent because like
well, and you don't have to be rude about it. You can be like, oh man, I'm so glad you're getting married. That's so awesome. I wish I could be there. I already have plans.
It didn't seem like he was mean. It seemed like he was like, oh, that's not going to work for me, you know?
Yeah. So I I dig deeper into things that I cannot answer, but I'm like, is part of the reason they got divorced because of control? Is he trying to control things and be like, oh, like
probably, you know, that's
like you must do what I say.
That way
do
with...
I? So I would the kind thing to do as a kid would probably be to go to your dad's wedding, but I can see why they wouldn't want to. And
and I don't think you're the asshole
I wouldn't
at all
fault
for not
them
going
for
to that.
no.
Yeah. And I even think that he is doing the right thing in going because like the people who have chose to really be in his life have planned an event that he's super excited about. The person who has chose to be only occasionally in his life and not really be a father because he obviously doesn't have that relationship with him. It's just a place he goes every other weekend. Like he doesn't have a relationship. So I don't know.
Nope. I think I would not fault you for going to the music festival. No, go have fun.
Yeah. Me too. Because
awesome.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think parents are entitled to their kids to do anything. I don't think anybody is entitled that anybody else is going to do anything other than that kids are entitled to be cared for and fed. You know, if you bring a kid into this world, they're entitled to you keep, taking care of them. But it's not your place to decide what their life is because they're still just a human being. It's just you're the one who went and made the decision to bring them here. They didn't get to choose that, so you got to help them make it up, basically.
Well, a wedding is really important. I mean, that's a big life event that you do want your family at. And if the wedding had been planned before and the mom was like, how about I get us tickets to this music festival instead? That would have been kind of a dick move. Like,
yeah, it doesn't sound like that was the case, though.
No, and what it sounds like is they had these plans before and they were known about, and the dad just kind of
didn't even take it into consideration. He was like, "This is what works for me, so fuck everybody else." Yeah. That's what you were probably spot on with the reason why they probably got divorced in the first place. Because he
didn't care about other people's feelings.
Exactly. He's in control and when he doesn't get his way, he's a bitch about it. So
I can picture that. I don't know if that's reality or not, but that's where my brain's going. So I'd go to the music festival.
Yeah. I just don't feel like I wouldn't like him going to his dad's wedding. It feels like it would literally just be out of like some like responsibility
obligation.
That obligation, like, but it's not like anything real. And I don't think obligations based on nothing but obligation have to be valued, or like, I just don't believe in making yourself do
Sometimes, yeah.
things.
If
I
he
don't
wasn't
know.
doing anything else,
Well,
then yeah, go to your dad's wedding, even
yeah,
if you
but
don't feel like it.
that's just something to
But
do. That's different.
mhm,
But
yeah.
like obligated to put him over others when he hasn't put him over himself ever, clearly, or he still probably would have
Mhm,
been there.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yep.
I
Agreed.
got a little mean on that one, but that's just my
That's all
thoughts.
right.
Okay.
All good. Mm,
These are all
mm,
children ones. Here's another
That's
one,
good.
okay? All right.
Kids have problems with their parents sometimes.
All the time. I think a lot of people
I
have a disconnect with their, parents in some way or another. It's just whether or not it's a toxic thing or just a difference in,
Yep.
you know.
I tell
This
people
one's
my kids all have a notebook that says Dr. Phil on the front, and then they can just start keeping notes on me. So when they go, there it is. It's all laid
they
out.
won't need it. All right. And we can make this one the last one.
Okay.
All right. Am I the asshole for not visiting my dying father?
Let's see. I will say, without knowing anything, kind of. It's probably one of those equal or everyone sucks here. ESH. So, okay, that's my preliminary pretest of a
All
guess.
right.
Go.
All right. So I, 26 Mel, am currently working as a hospital receptionist after a stint as a military medical officer. I joined the military right out of high school because that was my only option after my parents kicked me out after they discovered I was gay. I didn't really have any other option, but I ended up meeting my partner through a shared assignment, and now we were both out. We live together, and his family is super accepting. I'm no contact with mine anyways, so it feels good to have a dad that won't be upset at me just for existing. Fast forward to today. I don't know how my mother found out where I'm working or what my phone number is. She's a journalist and probably has connections. I don't know. Contacted me and told me that my father is in the hospital. He's an older guy, late 60s, and has developed Alzheimer's, exacerbated by the major stroke that put him in the hospital. She told me he's been asking for me and that I should come to hold his hand. He's calmed down quite a bit and seems to wonder where I am. Mind you, this was after the last thing my father said to me was a bunch of nasty shit and to get the fuck out of his house. I'm in a stable place in my mental health now after years of working to get over my shit. My partner thinks I should at least try and go, although he's not being pushy. It's more of a lack of understanding why my father is so shitty since I haven't explicitly told him everything that my parents said. I also feel like maybe I should go too. I feel so guilty for this, especially since I know my mother will be there. And while not as aggressive as my father was, she's very controlling and I don't ever want to see her again. Um, TLDR. I don't know what that means, but you know.
I
Um,
never learned.
my abusive father suffered a huge stroke, has Alzheimer's that has changed his personality, and mother, who I'm no contact with, is asking me to come and see him after they kicked me out. So I guess that's like a breakdown of it. Like
Yeah.
if you want to just go to the bottom and read it.
To sum it up, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Is he the asshole? No, he's not the asshole. Um, this is one of those
Yeah.
crossroady points of life where you don't want to do something stupid because you can't ever fix it.
Yeah, you can't go
So,
back type thing.
yeah. Um, are you justified in not talking to your parents and not going to hold his hand? Yeah, they kind of burned that bridge. They if you made that choice, that's a choice that you can make and it would be justified. You don't want to go and pretend to be the happy family if you haven't been the happy family. You know what I mean? It feels
Yeah.
inauthentic and maybe even harmful to yourself.
Your mental health or whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
One thing with the Alzheimer's part, if he can't remember, if the only thing he can remember is that the two of you had a good relationship and that he loves you, that might be slightly healing. Like to be able to go sit by your dad and he'd be like, "Oh, I love you," that
yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
It
Maybe.
could have some benefits. Um, Regardless, you'd have to set major boundaries, like with your mom. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, I don't. I'm not coming to get into it. Maybe I just go visit him alone. And if I get there and can't handle it, I'm just going to turn around and leave. Like this is a touchy subject. This isn't just a warm, fuzzy visit.
Yeah. I have a life outside of you with a family who loves me
Hmm.
for who
Yeah.
exactly as I am, and asking me to
Or
come
bring your
back into
partner.
your pain. Yeah.
Introduce him to your partner and be like, this is my part. Like,
Yeah. If I'm coming, I'm bringing my partner type thing, maybe.
mhm.
I don't know.
And if
See,
there's any hesitation at all, just be like, then
yeah, I feel
I'm
like,
staying.
oh, what the hell was I just gonna say? So, as you get older, um, and you start to realize that some people like who come across as really hateful are just victims themselves to like the hate that's been like taught, and yes, they're propagating it, and and it's because they're like our brains literally solidify and we stop thinking about things and accepting new ideas and beliefs because I don't know, not to make excuses for them, but it's like it helps me, I guess, a little to be like I didn't go to therapy a lot, but one of the things that a therapist told me was you're never gonna get what you want with your parents. Because one of the things that I talked about was just like I just don't feel like I have a relationship. We do, but we don't. It's just very superficial. It is just I am
Yeah.
child, you are parents. But there's not like there's just no relationship. There's nothing
Yeah.
bad. There's it just is. That's kind of how my life was. It just was, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
But it would be nice to feel like you had a
yeah,
friendship there and like
you might really regret not doing it as you get older, and you realize that about them, and that like I should have basically you have to be the bigger person and
yeah.
be like there were things about you that I loved, and as a parent you can't help but love. Well, most of us, I think. Obviously there are the ones who don't love their kids clearly because the way they treat
There are
them,
crappy
it's like
parents out there.
yeah, there's a lot of them, unfortunately, but true parents, there's love there.
Just trying to
Another thing I thought that was kind of like the like what's the word when you're just the side of me that would want to be mean, I guess, would like
yeah.
like
The vengeful
okay,
side.
the little bit vengeful side would be like, all right, I'm like
The petty.
I would want to go and then just tell them how good I was. Be like you
Yeah.
guys weren't it
I'm
for
doing
me.
so good.
I'm doing so good. I have a family. I have a father now. So, like like a
Mhm.
father, a real father. Like you were my sperm donor, clearly. But like I have someone
Mhm.
who loves me for who I am. I think I'd want to go there and tell them that. And be
Yeah, and just
like
be like this is what
yeah,
love does, man. I
yeah.
feel uplifted
Like
by the people who are around me.
my life didn't end up in shams because I was gay. I'm not out there hurting people because I was gay. I'm, like it just is who I am, and letting them see that didn't like like they gave up a son essentially because of their
Mhm.
hatred, and maybe it's good for them to see that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyways,
I can see that. So you
yeah.
could go either way on that one. Nobody's
Yeah.
really well, I was gonna say nobody's really an asshole, but
Yeah, no, I mean his parents were
for parents
assholes,
to drive your
but
kids away is
yeah,
not a
they were
good thing.
assholes. Any parent who does that is an asshole, in my opinion. They might think they're in the right, and they might
Yeah.
even have, like good intentions, but no, you don't. You just want to change them. You need them to be different than what they are
Yeah.
because
And
it
it would
breaks
be
your
nice if they
worldview.
said if they apologize and said, we've had our struggles and I'm really sorry that A, B,
Yeah.
C, D, whatever we did. An apology would be
Yeah.
nice. And since they're not saying anything,
Oh,
it's
I read some of the
if it
after
was,
stuff, and so
yeah.
because people were kind of like, like her dad, or his dad is the one who kicked him out, but the reason why
Hmm.
his dad kicked him out is his mom was going through his text messages and found the conversation where he indicated that he was gay, and she took it to his dad, which is when everything went down. So
Also, he didn't even get to say anything.
no,
He
he
was,
didn't get to say. He got
yeah, well,
outed
that
by his
sucks.
mom to be scolded and thrown out by his dad. So it was a group effort. She might not have been the one to
Yeesh.
do it, but she's the one who fueled it. She didn't go to him with any concern and like, how can we support you? She hated. you know, so
That
it's
breaks my
unfortunate.
heart.
Yeah, it breaks my heart that is just a very real, like, still ongoing problem, that we have that many people who just still think in such back-ass ways. They're like, they've accepted this one reality and they're like, it's true. Nothing shall ever change. We have all the facts.
We can only be protected if you leave. Go, child that we raised and are supposed to protect.
Yes.
Be gone with you. Like,
No, I definitely don't think he's the asshole at all. Like, there's
no.
nothing about it that's the asshole. It sucks that it's
No
happening.
matter what you.
For
And if
them
you do
and for
decide to
him, because
go,
I'm sure they're still overall good people. They just also, you know, were used by a system to be hateful.
well, and if he does decide to go to the hospital and to see his dad, and for some reason things blow up in his face and like his mom's a jerk to him or his dad remembers whatever and
Mhm.
they end up getting into it, or it's not that warm, fuzzy reception that he's being
Yeah.
sold, that's okay too. That's just
That'd
another.
probably be some pretty big closure. Like,
Mhm.
there's no
It's
way I would ever allow them back in now. Like, that's the
Mhm.
coffin slamming close,
Yep.
metaphorically and
I
literally.
don't need to go to the funeral. I don't need anything. We're gonna let that chapter stay where it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Not
agree.
all stories have happy endings.
It's true. Not all chapters have happy endings, but just because one chapter
Yeah, true.
sucks.
Chapter, that's fair. Because yeah, you're gonna have other ones that have great endings.
Sounds like he's getting pretty good ending where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So,
does. Awesome. Anyways.
so yeah,
All
I
right.
like those.
Well,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I like giving advice I'm unqualified to give. That feels awesome.
Me too.
But if we were your best friends, this is the advice we would give, and this is
exactly.
and
Talking
as your
to her.
friends, it's almost always like, no, you're not the asshole. Like,
I think most of them we did say that today. So
yeah,
I don't know. Anyways. All right.
yeah.
Well, Lilas. I don't know.
Lilas, I
Talk to-
think you're amazing.
I forgot to tell you that me and Anthony are sneaking away for a date night tonight. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
to Tampa, got a hotel, a band that
Nice.
that we followed at the Renaissance Fair
Uh-huh.
is playing at a cheesecake place. I don't even know. We're just going.
Cheesecake and a band
Yeah,
you like.
and Irish
I'm in.
music.
Stamp of approval.
Yes. Yes. And then
Irish music, even better.
Yeah, yeah. And then
So,
we'll probably hit a
sweet.
bar or something. So it'll be a good time.
That
But
would
I'm
be awesome.
excited.
Enjoy your date.
Oh,
I'm super happy for you guys.
me too. It's probably gonna be really rainy because we're like in really rainy season, but that's okay.
That is okay.
Yeah.
All will be
Although
well.
my tank top's white.
I don't think Anthony's going to complain.
I don't think
That's
so either.
that's just my thoughts.
When we were younger, not that I wouldn't do it now, but
Uh-huh.
I hopped in the shower in just a white t-shirt one time with him. I had my own wet t-shirt contest. It was fun.
And you know what? I think that's what guys dream about when they're like picturing their wife and like, what would be something fun to happen? There should be more of that.
It was
So
fun. I'm sure there is. I mean, I'd like to think there is. Anyways, all right.
there's more to come. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I love
Enjoy
ya,
and have fun.
And Lilas, I will.
Lilas.
Talk to you later.
And see you next time.
Subscribe up there.
Subscribe.
There's a subscribe up there.
Okay.
Like the button.
Okay.